What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly Sports History for July 14th, 2023. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery, and we are back with live sports, real sports, not Summer League basketball sports today. I am super oh, man. Sorry, I'm actually looking at the video as I'm recording this, and my beard is in that in-between stage. You probably know if you know me or have seen the videos before, usually my beard is long. Before each summer starts, I usually trim it up because I hate being hot. But now that we're into the summer and it's growing longer, I don't know. It just grows uneven. In the next couple weeks, this is usually where people who don't grow long beards, this is usually where they bail because it's the scraggly homeless look. But oh well, we'll get there in a couple weeks, but I digress. We're back to real sports today, and the Phillies have the very first game on the schedule. They take on the Padres tonight. Christopher Sanchez is on the mound against Yu Darvish. I'm super excited for this second half run. I have a good feeling that because I don't necessarily think they played their best in the first half, and the fact that they're right there that tells me something. And yeah, they went on a nice little run there in June, but you take the April and May and the inconsistency, I still think overall they have not played their best. And I think they're more like the team that went on the run in June than the team that was very inconsistent in April and May. Bryce Harper's still not gotten hot yet. Hopefully once he moves to first base, that will kind of take his mind off of whatever's bothering him. But I'm looking forward to the second half. One tonight, they play a doubleheader tomorrow, weather permitting. And then I'm supposed to go down Sunday, again, weather permitting. My wife had gotten Hall of Fame, I forget what it's called now, the ranking club or whatever, seats for her birthday. So we're looking forward to going down there. But just excited to be back to baseball, and it's almost like the official start of the new sports year. So Happy New Year, if you will. But let's go Phils. Let's put it together. No real update on the as the Harden turns. Just I feel like the reporters at this point, because there's nothing and it has been slow, they're just recycling some of the same stories. The story yesterday was reiterating that Harden wants to go to the Clippers. Great. I mean, there's lots of things that I would prefer in life, whether it be work or personal, that I can't have. So welcome to the club. You just happen to have a lot more money than we do. But we'll see how it goes. And I think I hope the Sixers, I should say, are smart about this and do exactly what they did with Ben Simmons and wait until there's an offer that makes them better. At this point, he opted in. That's kind of on him. So let's not mortgage the future or hurt the team moving forward to keep James Harden happy. Flyers story that I missed the other day, and it just seemed like it kind of continues to gain traction, which is kind of funny. But I guess they were introducing one of the new players, and one of the PR guys, I guess it was a Zoom call, so they were, the guys that were during the questions, the reporters and the player couldn't hear this, but one of them said, "Is she going to ask this fucking question again?" I don't know who the reporter was, who the PR guy was, but I guess she asked the same question. The question basically was, why did you choose the Flyers, a team that is rebuilding, that for the most part, basically they said, we're not going to be good, so why do you choose here? And it's a valid question, I think, but I guess the PR guys are just fed up with so many guys getting asked that question. And then there's very faintly another PR person. It's something along the lines of, who fucking cares? The Flyers suck anyway, or something along those lines. So just some funny things. And the way that Keith Jones handled the apology, I think, was great. But just one of those things. Just be careful what you say, because you never know who's listening. You know who is listening? PhillyGoat.com. They have, whether it is your Flyer stuff, and yeah, they're not going to be good this year, but this would be a good time to get in on the ground level, show your fandom. Maybe you've lost touch. Maybe you were a big fan and drifted away because of the way things have been handled. Maybe you're excited for the new regime and you want to show your pride. Philly Goat got you covered. Go to phillygoat.com. Check out their wide selection of Philly sports-based apparel. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off of your order. They have some pretty sweet flyer stuff, long sleeve tees, hoodies. I like the bully shirts. They have a shirt similar to the one I'm wearing now, that the Phillies 215, that is black with the orange 215. So go check them out, phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery. Make sure it has the authentic goat on the sleeve. All right, today we're going to go back to 1988, and on this day, July 14th, 1988, the Astros beat the Phillies 7-5. That 88 Phillies team was just terrible. 65-96, they finished 38.5 games back of the Mets. This is one of those teams that I vividly remember, like my first experience into following a Phillies team for a full season, and this is the one I follow. They were just absolutely terrible. But on this day, 38-year-old Mike Schmidt went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs, a walk, scored a run, and hit a home run, which was number 537 on his career. That moved him past Mickey Mantle for sole possession of number 7 on the all-time list. He would end up finishing with 548 finished his career at number 7 on the all-time list, 15 behind Reggie Jackson. Currently, he is number 16. Since he retired, Barry Bonds, Albert Pujols, Alex Rodriguez, Ken Griffey Jr., Jim Thome, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Rafael Palmeiro, Manny Ramirez all have passed Mike Schmidt, but Schmidt ended with that 548. But on this day, this is when he hit number 537, moving past Mickey Mantle. And I will say a little side note here. I remember as a kid, I used to be able to go and rattle off all the way from Hank Aaron down through Lou Gehrig, who had 493, who is now tied with Fred McGriff with 493. But so much has changed. I just, like I said, for better or for worse, I don't know, but Mike Schmidt went from number 17 to number 16 on the list in a matter of probably like 20 years or so. But on this day, it was all about passing the legendary Mickey Mantle for number 7. And Schmidt would go on to play another almost 3/4 of a season from this day, retiring early in 1989. Want more Phillies coverage? Check out our new partner, 2008 Phils. They're the biggest Phillies email newsletter in the world, and I will say it's a must-read for every Phillies fan. Check them out. Just look up 2008 Phils newsletter. It'll take you to your website, and you can at least check out some of the free features. And like I said, so much good content, whether it's old school stuff, historical stuff, analysis on the new team. He started with a lot of guest posts and people that are in the know with the Phillies. So be sure to check them out. For a limited time, there's a special offer for This Day in Philly Sports History listeners, and we're going to give you 75% off a subscription. What does a subscription give you? Access to all posts. Don't have to worry about the paywall, and trust me when I say it's worth it. Great community chats, the full access to the archives, and there's some very, very good stories if you go back and look at the archives. You also get that 2008 championship banner t-shirt. The 2008 Phils will follow your Twitter account. They do special giveaways that you'll have access to, tickets, autographs, that type of thing. And it's only $2 a month. Or pay for the whole year for $20, and $20 is worth it. Like I've been saying, $20 is worth it for the shirt. So go click the link in the description of this podcast, whether you're listening or watching. The special link for This Day in Philly Sports History listeners is in the description. Go sign up. Like I said, $20. I mean, that's at this point, it's a 6-pack of good beer. Just buy it. You get a nice t-shirt to boot. That's 2008 Phils. Follow that or click that link underneath wherever you're. I guess it's underneath. I keep saying that, and I've never actually looked. I'm assuming it's underneath, but underneath this way, follow that link and get your subscription for 75% off for a limited time. All right, it is time for the Philly Sports Most Lovable Loser Tournament update. And yesterday, it was really no contest. The 2022 Eagles blew out the 2003 Eagles with 100% of the vote. No shocker there. So now the second round is set for the Eagles regional. The number 5 seed 2002 Eagles will take on the 1988 Eagles, the 8 seed. And then we have the number 2 seed 2022 Eagles taking on the number 3 seed 1980 Eagles. That'll happen at some point next week, but continue to get your votes in. Today's matchup for the first round is the last first round matchup for the Flyers regional. We have the number 2 seed 1979-80 team taking on the number 7 seed 99-2000 team, one of my all-time favorite teams. Let's start with that 79-80 team. They were 48-12-20, Patrick Division and Campbell Cup Conference champions. They're the team that went 35 straight games without a loss, 25-0-10. That is a North American sports record. So pretty impressive. They were very, very good. Bobby Clark, who's the first year in a long time, he was not the captain because he had to relinquish his captaincy. He had to relieve the C on his jersey because he was a player / assistant coach. They won the division with 14 games left in the season, scoring 116 points. Reggie Leach was the leading goal scorer. Ken Linsman was the leading scorer with 79 points. They rolled through the playoffs, beat the Oilers 3-0. The Rangers 4-1, North Stars 4-1, and then they ran into the juggernaut Islanders and lost 4-2 to them. That was the first of 4 straight Stanley Cups for the Islanders. They actually were in the Stanley Cup final the year before, and after their 4th straight, they went back to the Stanley Cup. So that was just one hell of a team. But that Flyers team in 79-80 was also good. Still holds the record in North America for consecutive games without a loss. They are taking on the 99-2000 team, which if you listen to the Back to the Future where I laid out the tournament, they're one of my all-time lovable loser Flyers teams. They went 45-25, 12-3, won the Atlantic Division, came in with the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Mark Recchi was the leading scorer with 91 points. Leclerc had the most goals. So much went on that year. Not even talking about the offseason where they had the tragic death of their one player in the boating accident. But Roger Nielsen, their head coach, had bone cancer and had to step down. Craig Ramsey took over. Gene Hart died in the offseason, the legendary announcer. They did trade for Keith Primo that year, thinking that him and Lindros would be like 2 great center on back-to-back lines. Unfortunately, Lindros ended up with 2 concussions that year, and this is where things started to really start to go south. He criticized the Flyers trainers for allowing him to play. He already had issues because of the collapsed lung, and they flew him home where he almost died. So instead of looking into it, the Flyers did what the Flyers did back then, and they stripped him of his captain's title, and he was out indefinitely. They did go on a run without him to get that number 1 seed. They beat the Sabres 4-1 in the first round, beat the Penguins 4-2. That was that infamous 5 overtimes, or the series that had the 5 overtime game where Primo finally won the game in the 5th overtime. Then they took on the Devils in the Eastern Conference Final, built up a 3-1 lead. Lindros came back, and they promptly blew the 3-1 lead, which he did not come back, I don't think, until Game 7. But they blew the 3-1 lead. Scott Stevens basically ended Eric Lindros' Flyers career with a vicious hit in that game. So ultimately, they did not make it to the finals. One of the few Flyers teams, I think, that would have made some noise. Just so many distractions, though, with that team starting with the offseason through the whole Lindros fiasco, and then everything going into the playoffs, their coach, everything. So lots of distractions, but still no excuse to have the number 1 seed and blow a 3-1 lead. All right, as I always do, I played this on What If Sports, and this was one hell of a series, very evenly matched. It went 5-5 after 10 games, so we did a 1-game playoff in which the 79-80 team won because they had the home field or home ice advantage, but pretty even matchup. Now it's your turn. Who wins, the 79-80 Flyers or the 99-2000 Flyers? Vote wherever you're getting this. Send me a text message. If you're listening on Spotify, there is a poll set up right there. But let me know. This is the last first-round matchup for the Flyers. Excited for the Phils to be back tonight. I think they're going to go on a run. I have a great feeling about this team. I think they're going to end up making some noise, and maybe a little premature, maybe a little homerism here, but don't be surprised if they make a little run at the Braves and we're in September and the Phillies are within 3-4 games of the Braves. Just throwing that out there. And hey, maybe I'm an idiot, but I just keep an eye on them because the Braves will come back down to earth. It's just a matter of how far back down they're going to come. But on this day, back in 1988, Mike Schmidt hit his 537th home run, passing Mickey Mantle for number 7 on the all-time list. Hopefully we get some real meaningful updates on the James Harden situation. But it doesn't matter. We have real sports, and I could not be more excited. It's going to be a stormy weekend, but sports are back. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History. I'm Jim Montgomery. Be sure to check out our partners. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.